This is like the greatest Aftershock lineup ever. It's you guys, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Slayer, Pantera, Disturbed, Slipknot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Motley Crue. You guys are the 8 headliners. And are you excited for Aftershock? I mean, this lineup is crazy.
Oh man, that's a huge show. I mean, anybody's there, anybody's there. I mean, that's a who's who is playing that show. That's absolutely.
It's Abe Cannon doing an Audacy check-in with Zoltan Bathory from Five Finger Death Punch. Zoltan, before we get started, is that a real background?
Yes.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like, hold on. Yeah.
Oh, it looked fake. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Is that your house?
Yeah.
Is that your house?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's awesome.
I mean, with the name Zoltan, you gotta have a castle, man. It's just what it is. People, people expect it.
That's the greatest background I've ever seen. I thought it was fake. I thought you had like a fake background in it.
No.
That's awesome. Well, so Afterlife with the 3 bonus tracks and then the new DMX song, This Is the Way. I heard it. It's so awesome hearing DMX. He just like cuts through. How did you guys do this song, This Is the Way, with DMX? It's so awesome. I can't wait for people to hear this.
So I always thought like he's kind of the metalhead of hip hop. His delivery, the dog bark, the whole attitude. He was like. Yeah. And so this conversation of trying to do something together been going on for years and years, maybe 5-6 years, or maybe
so while he was still alive, right? You guys were talking about
yes. And and for obvious and various reasons, he was not available from periods of times that we can really work with him.
Yeah.
And then when he was available, that's in the last couple of years, unfortunately he passed. So the conversation was going on about doing something, and it never really came to fruition. Since the conversation continued, we had access to some of these masters that that he recorded, and so we continued the conversation. Like, okay, well, respectfully, in what way? How could we still do something, right? And that's why it was a lot of red tape. I mean, obviously, people around him. And the family, the estate, the producers, everybody, his friends, everyone around him is super protective about his legacy, his art, everything has to do with him. So and so we had to be super respectful, and we worked through our way to the channels of, okay, we got the green light to use some of these songs, some of these lyrics. Right.
So did you write the song around his rap, or did you have like that and you melded two things together?
Yes, correct. Yes. So that's exactly what we did. So we had the masters around rap, so the rap masters of the rap, and we wrote everything around it, and you had to figure that out. And once it came together, then came the whole process of everybody involved, all the producers, everybody involved wanted to hear it. And once everybody heard it, everybody was like, okay, but it's still. Once the song was done, we were gonna put it on the album, but because of the process, because of so many people are involved and so many different publishing companies involved, it took a long time. So we released the album without this track, and so we released the record, and now we're doing the deluxe edition and put the song on it as it was meant to be, and then we threw in a couple of really cool acoustic bonuses that we had anyway, and we worked on, and so it makes up the deluxe album. The feedback was incredible. Everybody thought like, okay, this is super respectful to him, to X. The arrangement and the song, everybody loved it. Everybody thought like, man, this is a hit, and this might be the last thing we hear from DMX. And if it's the last thing we hear from DMX, then it's a proper track.
This is like the greatest Aftershock lineup ever. It's you guys, Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Slayer, Pantera, Disturbed, Slipknot. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Motley Crue. You guys are the 8 headliners. And are you excited for Aftershock? I mean, this lineup is crazy.
Oh man, that's a huge show. I mean, anybody's there. I mean, that's a who's who is playing that show. That's absolutely.
And I mean, you've been touring with Metallica now. You're doing one night. Pantera's doing. How's that tour? How's that gone for you guys?
Yeah, that's great too. I mean, look, 80,000-90,000 people in a stadium. That's massive, and it's one of those things where obviously we have a big fan base that overlaps. But so Metallica is such a huge band, and it's such a they had 4 decades to gain that fan base. So you're gonna have 3 generations of people in there, right? And it's such a big band now that in some ways still growing, believe it or not. Metallica is still growing.
Yeah.
It's crazy, right? And so it's such a big band that even if you're not necessarily into metal, you gotta come. You have to come and see, right? And so that means like there are gonna be a lot of people in that arena that hearing a band name fifing in that much probably not gonna give us a chance because they have an idea like what that would be, right? And so that means that we are playing to a substantial amount of people who never heard us before, right? And I can tell that we're turning them. I can tell, especially after the show, you can definitely see it, because we have obviously statistics and online, we can measure that. Like after every show, there's a jump in visitors and a jump in downloads and a jump in the statistics. So I know that we're hitting a massive amount of people with that.
And it's nice to do that, right? Because when you're around your people all the time, it's like they're going to love most of the stuff you do. But when you bring in new people, that's when you can really see, like, is this good? Like, what do they like the new stuff? I'm sorry, I know you're running out of time. I said a couple of like really quick things. Number one, do you get recognized more for the band or for Call of Duty?
So good question. So sometimes when people come up and, hey, can I take a picture? Sometimes I have to ask. Like at night happens that like, and there was a funny comment. We were on social media when we played one of the Metallica shows, and after that there were pictures online, whatever. So somebody commented like, "Man, I went to see Metallica and the Call of Duty guy was on stage."
That's awesome.
That was funny.
And your professional grappling federation that you own, that's now on UFC Fight. I'm a huge UFC fan, and that's awesome. You guys are on Fight Pass now. Really quick, you want to just talk about that?
So I mean, I'm a lifelong grappler, and I'm actively competing Jiu-Jitsu black belt still to this day. I compete. I go to nationals, international, world championships. I still do that in a heavyweight black belt masters division, and so I'm involved with that. I'm involved in the sport, and a majority of my fans are grapplers and Jiu-Jitsu fighters. So that was something that I was invited as a coach to one of their events, and I fell in love with the organization. I thought it's really awesome. It's very different. Civilians, so to speak, can enjoy this even if you don't know anything about jiu-jitsu. It's fun, and you can be entertained by this.
For self-defense too, jiu-jitsu is great. Like everyone should try to do jiu-jitsu, right?
Well, it's probably the most effective martial art today in the world. The most developed, most effective martial arts when it comes to just about anything.
Zoltan, thank you so much. Again, you have to check out this song. This is the Way with DMX. It's great. It's a hit. Thanks for doing this Audacy check.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother.